What's going on, YouTubers? This is Nick Edwards, your fantasy football expert, coming to you before the beginning of week 2. Well, as I told you last time in my video, I was predicted to go 0-15, and my first week, as you can see here, did not go well. I have a lot of building to do, and so now I get to do the fun things and get to work in building my championship roster. So, first thing what we're going to do today is we're going to go through the good and the bad of the players that I have on my team, and then we're going to talk about my plan moving forward with the waiver wire and with possible trades. Okay, so let's start with the good from week 1. The good is I have a quarterback. Lamar Jackson had a pretty good week 1 versus the Las Vegas Raiders. Not as many points as he would normally put up, but he still rushed for 86 yards. I'm fine with that. Kareem Hunt, also, even though he didn't get that many carries, he was active against Kansas City, and he is looking like a flex/low-end RB2, so there's upside there. Same idea for Tyler Higbee, who seems like he's going to be a part of the Rams offense, a major part of it. And so that was definitely a positive in week 1. And then on the bench, even though he only caught one pass, Robbie Anderson, with his one pass for a touchdown of 57 yards, that was also positive. So those were the positives. When you lose by over 100 points, you're not going to have many positives. Now, let's talk about the negatives and the things that are going to have to be worked on in order for this team to compete for a championship moving into week 2 and on. So at my wide receiver core, Brandon Aiyuk did not play in week 1. I think because of his injury, they decided to set him out. And then my running back core, Saquon Barkley, he is off to a rough start, recovering, coming back from his injury. And I could look into selling him now, but I'm not going to get much for him on the trade market. I know that. So it is very early on the season. I'm not going to punt on him. And then Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he had a below average week. And between the two of them, to only get 13, really 14 points, that's just not going to cut it. And then on my bench, I lost Jerry Jeudy for 6 weeks, but I got to move him, as you can see, to a reserve IR spot. And that is the good and the bad. Whole lot of bad. So, this is where the fun begins. Let's get to work. So, let's get to work. So, I talked about this in another one of my videos, that this waiver wire before week 2 is normally the most important waiver wire of the year. And that is because you don't really know going into week 1, some of the players, what you really have. For example, last year, I picked up Ryan Tannehill off the waiver wire going into week 2, just because nobody had drafted him. And he was coming into a different situation as a starter and was unproven throughout his whole entire career. So this waiver wire, especially for where I'm at, will be crucial. So my waiver wire targets, number 1 is Mike Williams from the Los Angeles Chargers to work on shoring up the receiving core. Number 2, Eli Williams, running back for the 49ers after Raheem Mostert's injury. It looks like he is going to be carrying the ball more than any of the other running backs. That's the hope. Just like a lot of other teams, he is a high priority because of the number of carries he's going to get. Also at tight end, Dallas Goedert. The Eagles looked really good in week 1, even though they were facing the Falcons. And he received a lot of targets, just like he did last year. And so he is someone I'm interested in picking up as well. Then switching up my defense for Cleveland instead of the Los Angeles Chargers. So really trying to shore up the running game and my receivers. And one of the great things about losing week 1, if there are great things, is that I am second on the waiver wire list, which should help me and be able to help build my roster. So that's the plan with the waiver wire. And then I also am looking into trades. And I just recently, as of today, made a very large trade. And that trade was trading Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Tyler Higbee for DeAndre Hopkins and OJ Howard. So I'm losing a tight end, but I believe that other tight ends can be picked up on the waiver wire. And I am gaining a marquee wide receiver, and my hope would be to at least be able to shift Kareem Hunt to a RB2 for now. Let me know what you guys think about that trade. Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Tyler Higbee for DeAndre Hopkins and OJ Howard. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts on my waiver wire ideas for pickups. And maybe there's a waiver wire idea that I missed. And I will be back on Thursday before Thursday Night Football. Thank you for checking into my YouTube channel. Click and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Thanks. Bye.